Imagine waking up one morning, getting into your car, driving to work just like any other day, and then suddenly you get pulled over. The officer hands you a fine you never expected for a rule you did not even know existed. This is happening to thousands of drivers across the United States right now in April 2026, and if you are watching this video, you are one of the lucky ones who will know about it before it is too late. Welcome to DriveAuthority USA, your most trusted source for everything related to driving laws, road rules, and traffic updates across the United States. Today, we have an extremely important alert for every single driver in America. Whether you drive in California, Texas, New York, Florida, or anywhere else in this country, what we are sharing today directly affects you. Stay with us until the very end, because the last update we share might be the most important one for your wallet and your driving record. In April 2026, the United States has rolled out a fresh wave of driving regulations, restrictions, and penalty updates that are already being enforced on roads across multiple states. These are not proposals or future plans. These changes are active right now, and law enforcement agencies have already begun issuing citations and fines. Many drivers are completely unaware of these updates, which is exactly why accidents and violations are still happening. Today, we are going to break down every major change so you can drive smart, drive safe, and keep your license and your money intact. Let us start with one of the biggest updates that has caught thousands of drivers off guard. Speed enforcement technology has been significantly upgraded in 2026. Several states, including Colorado, Maryland, Illinois, and Washington, have expanded their automated speed camera programs. These cameras are no longer limited to school zones and construction zones. They are now being installed on highways, residential streets, and even inside tunnels. What makes this especially important is that these cameras are now connected to a centralized database that directly links to your vehicle registration and insurance records. This means the moment you speed past one of these cameras, a citation is generated automatically and mailed to your home address. There is no warning. There is no officer to talk to. You simply receive a fine in the mail. And in many states, repeated offenses caught on camera are now being added to your driving record, which can raise your insurance premium significantly. The second major update involves distracted driving laws, and these have become significantly stricter in 2026. Several states have now moved to a zero-tolerance policy for handheld device use while driving. This means even holding your phone at a red light is now considered a violation in states like California, Oregon, and Minnesota. First-time offenders in these states are now facing fines starting at $300, and second-time offenders can face fines as high as $1,000, along with mandatory driving education courses. In some jurisdictions, third-time offenders can have their license suspended. Law enforcement officers are also now using advanced detection technology, including cameras mounted on patrol vehicles that can identify whether a driver is holding a device, even through tinted windows. Next, let us talk about an update that affects commercial drivers and everyday commuters equally. Weight restriction enforcement on bridges and overpasses has been dramatically increased across the Midwest and Southeast. States like Ohio, Tennessee, Georgia, and Kentucky have deployed new sensor-based systems under bridges and at highway entry points that can detect vehicle weight in real time. If your vehicle exceeds the posted weight limit, an alert is sent directly to a nearby patrol unit. Heavy fines are being issued on the spot, and in some cases, vehicles are being impounded until proper permits are obtained. If you drive a pickup truck loaded with equipment, a rental moving truck, or any commercial vehicle, you absolutely need to check the weight restrictions on your planned route before you drive. Another update that has been generating a lot of attention is the new ruling on tinted windows. Several states have revised their visible light transmission requirements for window tints. States including Texas, Arizona, and Nevada have lowered the acceptable tint percentage for front side windows, meaning many vehicles that were legal last year may now be considered in violation. Law enforcement has been conducting roadside checks specifically targeting window tint violations, and fines can range from $150 to $500 depending on the state. If you recently had your windows tinted or bought a used vehicle with tinted windows, we strongly recommend getting your tint percentage measured at a certified auto shop to ensure you are within the legal limit for your state. Let us now talk about DUI and impaired driving penalties, because the consequences in 2026 have reached an entirely new level of severity. Following a series of fatal accidents tied to impaired driving in late 2025, multiple states have enacted emergency legislation that increases penalties across the board. First-time DUI offenders in states like Georgia, Florida, and Pennsylvania are now facing mandatory license suspension of 1 full year, up from the previous 6 months. Fines have also been increased, with first-time offenders paying between $1,500 and $5,000 depending on blood alcohol content. Additionally, ignition interlock devices, which require a breathalyzer test before the car will start, are now mandatory for first-time offenders in over 30 states, whereas previously they were only required after repeat offenses. We also need to discuss school zone safety, which has received significant legislative attention at the start of 2026. The national standard speed limit inside active school zones has been pushed for reduction to 15 miles per hour in many cities, down from the traditional 25 miles per hour. Cities including Denver, Philadelphia, Chicago, and Seattle have already implemented this lower limit with corresponding fines that double the standard speeding penalty when the school zone is active. If you drive near any school during morning drop-off or afternoon pickup hours, slow down considerably. The cameras and officers stationed in these areas are specifically tasked with issuing citations, and the fines add up extremely quickly. One more update that every driver must know about is the change in insurance verification requirements. As of early 2026, many states have implemented real-time insurance verification systems that allow officers to check your insurance status instantly through a national database. Simply having a paper insurance card in your glove compartment is no longer sufficient if your policy has lapsed or been canceled. Driving without valid active insurance is now triggering immediate vehicle registration suspension in states like Michigan, Virginia, and New Mexico. This means even if you are driving with a valid license, if your insurance is not currently active in the database, your registration could be suspended on the spot and your vehicle towed. Finally, we want to highlight new rules surrounding electric vehicle charging station etiquette that have now been turned into enforceable law in California, New York, and Washington. If you park your electric vehicle at a public charging station after it has reached full charge and do not move it within a designated time window, you can now be fined for blocking the station. Non-electric vehicles parked in EV-only charging spots also face increased fines starting at $250 per occurrence. As electric vehicles become more common on American roads, these rules will likely expand to more states throughout the rest of 2026. That is the full breakdown of the most critical driving updates in the United States for April 2026. These are real changes, real fines, and real consequences that are affecting drivers across the country right now. The best thing you can do as a driver is stay informed, follow the updated rules, and always check your state's Department of Motor Vehicles website for the latest local regulations in your area. If this video helped you today, please hit the like button and share it with every driver you know, because this information could save someone from a serious fine or a suspended license. Subscribe to DriveAuthority USA so you never miss a critical driving update. We cover everything from new traffic laws and penalty changes to road safety tips and DMV updates all in one place. This is DriveAuthority USA, keeping you informed, keeping you safe, and keeping you on the road. Drive smart, stay legal, and we will see you in the next video.